Hey there, guys. Welcome back to episode 2 of the Bodybuilding Podcast. Just gonna flex for it. There we go. We've got Jeff Raybould here again. What's up, bro? How's your week been, bro?
So, yeah, oh, good man. How's yours been?
Not too bad. Same shit. Different week. Same routine, man.
How many
Work.
times? How many times have you trained?
Same old, man. So it's four days, man. At the moment, that's all I can handle. I'm looking at changing my
Yeah,
split or whatever, but we'll see when the gym's
yeah,
open because my timings will be a bit different. What about
yeah,
you?
yeah. Yeah, three days this week training.
It's plenty right now.
Did upper B Monday and did lower Wednesday and then an upper A workout Friday and then I'm not doing arms on a Saturday at the moment. When gyms are back open, I'll probably get back into more doing arms, and there's no calf machine at the gym that I've got access to. They've got most stuff, so they've got like a Quibble crossover, they've got like a power rack, they've got leg press, hack squat, dumbbells from like 2 up to 50, 2 benches.
Okay, no calf machine, is that what you said?
There's no calf machine. No,
Yeah, mate.
there's
I'm
a leg
strong.
extension.
Yeah. Did you
There's
see
no
mine?
leg curl.
Yeah.
There's a lat pull down.
Yeah.
With like every single attachment you can ever. It's like a little PT studio, but it's phenomenal for a PT studio. It's absolutely brilliant. So I'm very very lucky to have that. Luckily, the guy I've known him since I was about 16. Actually, since I first joined the gym, which was a fitness first gym, he was a PT there,
Okay.
and
So
he's just we've always kept in contact, and he lives literally like around the corner from me, and he gave me a key, and I'm happy to have that. It's like 5 minutes drive from my house.
yeah, no,
So
same with me. Like I'm happy to do some training. I just can't wait to do. I same with my story today. I
mm,
am literally gonna just go make the most of a leg extension and the leg press while I got it. I don't need to
yeah,
do that many squats. If I'm gonna squat, I'll just do it right at the end. Um,
yeah, yeah,
it's just
yeah,
these little things, man. I'm looking forward to it because I was thinking about this. I don't really like voicing it too much just because I don't want it to be an excuse, but I know it does have an impact. But my
yeah,
progression in terms of how I'm doing certain movements, like
yeah,
it is stopping my progression just a little bit because I connect
yeah,
very
yeah,
well on machines as well. So yeah, that's why I'm looking so forward to gyms being open. But I'm happy I've been able to.
yeah,
This is a maintenance phase for me, really, at the end of the day. So
yeah,
yeah, looking forward to it, man. Because from April, I
yeah,
will make massive progress. I'm confident I will. So
yeah, yeah.
but yeah,
Yeah, it's just having that fully equipped gym for a start, and having that like I miss having a training partner. Like I'm not allowed to take anyone with me to this gym. It's like it's like strictly like on my own.
yeah,
I'm not allowed to take anyone with me.
fair enough. Man.
Um,
You get in trouble.
and yeah, well, he's just said like he doesn't want everyone knowing about it. So like he just wants it kept private. So if that's better than nothing. But I am missing having a training partner sometimes, and pushing each other and having someone um, to not let you give up and stuff. But
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, hopefully 12th of April, gyms will be open, um,
Swear to God, the
and
devil.
we'll go from there. Yeah, hopefully, it's coming. Hopefully, so it's less than 6 weeks now, I think. Um,
Yeah. So
but yeah, my feed's quite low as well. I'm not pushing things, just
that's the thing. That's the thing I look forward to the
kind of
most.
similar to you, but yeah, I know
Like,
you're feeling hungry and whatnot.
yeah, just the last month. I think it'll be one more month. He can't drop my food any lower. I don't think. I hope not. Anyway.
Do you
Um,
know what your macros or calories are?
no, but I'll tell you this. So on a training day, post workout, I
Mm,
get 300 grams of cooked weight rice, which is my biggest meal, and then my next meal is
mm,
150 grams of cooked weight rice, which is not a lot. And
yeah,
then so I got 3 meals there with carbs. First meal was like
yeah,
bagel, which is nothing pretty much. And so I've got those 2 meals of carbs, and then at work, and then my next meal, no carbs. I'm getting used to it, which is why I'm kind of happy
yeah,
doing it now because I've not got a competition. I'm pretty like relaxed and chill. I've got sleep,
yeah, yeah,
and it's just sort of getting me
yeah,
used to it really. And I'm getting
yeah.
getting better at making salads.
So what's he doing this phase for like to increase insulin sensitivity, or what's he doing?
Bro, honestly, I swear. Like, so I just think when I had him, so I think he managed to like fill me out quite a bit when
Yeah.
I got him towards the end of my off season, so I had about 5-6 weeks left of my cycle anyway. So at that point, my body sort of like wants to have a break, but obviously he just upped my food to what I was eating anyway. And it did get to a point where I was just taking up to an hour to eat a meal, and my weight just stopped pushing up. So I was around 98, 100, roughly around there. As you go up, down, and then I was just like, yeah, man, I need a break. My stomach can't handle the food anymore. I just think it was too late. So I needed that little break. So yeah, we're trying to sort of reset the body. Obviously being off cycle as well, just have a little refresher. And it's nice. I feel fresh. It's just for me, like right now, if I'm looking at myself in the camera, I don't have that oomph. I have it in the gym. I feel good. Just general health wise, I feel good. Like I'm not like dying from breath as I'm walking. I've eased off on the heavy lifting, but until, like we said, with intensity, I've upped it in other ways. But yeah, just sort of, he wants to drop my weight, but not aggressively.
So you don't know kind of what calories or macros you're doing right
now? I don't ask. Like, I've
never know weight to feed.
Yeah, like I just sort of learned like that, and then because I progressed so much, like so, coach 1, 2, coach 1 and 2, that I had, didn't do a macro breakdown. Then after that, I did my own sort of thing by going on what I saw in that plan. Still didn't count in macros, and over the time I got better, and then I don't think anyone's ever done it for me.
It's weird, man. Like people are so different. Like I've got like an Excel spreadsheet, and I work out. I want to know like proteins, carbs, fats, fiber, overall calories, everything. Like I want to know every single thing that client is doing. So if I know how many calories they're doing, then let's say week by week, I can go, right, okay, I want to bring their calories down by X amount, or bring their carbs down by X amount, or fats down by X amount. So I can manipulate the Excel spreadsheet then, and it tells me like the overall totals and stuff. And honestly, like I'm you could say I'm a control freak in terms of like nutrition, because I just like to know the ins and outs, absolutely every single little thing that a client is doing.
It's cool. I understand, because I've started. But then
other coaches don't.
Sorry.
But then, like, there's plenty of the coaches that literally just write down weight to feed, and they haven't got a clue how much protein, carbs, or fats the individual's doing.
So this is what I've started doing. So, like I said, it's in per individual. Some people will do it, some people don't. I've seen people with good results, just from going with their knowledge and their eye. Like, Sass is a great coach, man. Like, he's getting loads of people now. And he's just got loads of knowledge, man. I think he just knows when things need to be pushed, when it needs to be pulled back. So amounts of food. But with me, now that I've started doing this coaching thing, I've started using the Excel sheet. I would never use it for myself. Just, I think people would benefit from it as well. So whether or not they're going to follow it, which hopefully they do, the exact numbers. So
the more you coach, the more you work out if people are doing what they're supposed to be doing. Trust me.
That's the thing as well. Checking out on them. Just like if I had someone who's really serious, into the gym, goes regardless, dedicated, I'd probably do the same approach as me. I'd be like, okay, bro, here's what we're eating, and then just take it from there. But if they're just like an office person who wants to lose weight and they want that balance, then I'd pretty much have to walk down. So I see what you're doing. You've got lifestyle. So you've got mixed. So many clients.
I've got strongman clients as well at the moment, and strongman guys, guys that are doing shows this year.
Feed them everything.
Do you know what? You think that, but there's a lot of people that for example, I've got a few of Lawrence Schlaley client. Is Lawrence Schlaley, who's in the world's strongest man. I think he's won like English strongest man before.
Not a big fan.
Follower. Say again.
I'm not a big follower of it. I watch it, but only the finals and shit like that.
He writes the clients that I've got. He does their training and I do their nutrition. Right. But he's not, to my understanding from the clients I've took on from him, he doesn't like to touch people's nutrition. Now, I personally think that there's a lot of strongman guys out there that could be performing way better if they took more of an educated approach to their nutrition, rather than just eating loads and loads of crap and just trying to force in calories. I think having a certain level of quality of protein, carbs, and fats, and then once you've got that sorted, then if you need more calories, then add more calories that are easy to ingest then. But I still think the bottom line is, it is how many calories you can absorb, not just how many you can whack down your face.
Yeah,
so if your digestion's been screwed up from eating just pure crap and you're bloated, and you know what you feel like when you're so bloated and your stomach's so full, it's hard to train. It's not nice to train when your stomach's like that. So I think if a few more of the strongman guys took a more educated approach, that they could do way better in competition rather than just eating crap. And I would like to team up with Loz, actually, I think, because he doesn't like to touch people's nutrition, and I think I could do a lot more for his guys that do compete in strongman, because as I said, Loz doesn't touch their nutrition, so probably a lot of his guys that he's coaching on the exercises could be way better with a more smart nutrition plan. Like, I know the guys that I've took on, they've got better. Like, they're stronger now than they were before within the first couple of weeks of working with me, just because of smart nutrition, just because they're not feeding their face with like pure crap all the time. But you know, it's fun working with those guys. It's I don't feel as though it's as hard as working with bodybuilders, but it's still rewarding, to be honest.
Yeah, no, I see what you're saying. Like, it's a lot of fitness as well. The events you see, there's a lot of fitness.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, like 100%. Performance. I mean, at the end of the day, it's a performance sport. So it's like a car. You put the right fuel in the car, the performance fuel in, and the car works better. If you're just putting crap in your car, it's not going to work as well. Same with the human body. Put good performance fuel in there. When you're doing these strongman events, you'll perform better.
Yeah, mate, I've experienced that myself, to be honest with you. Like, years ago when I just started, and to every newbie that's watching, don't just eat a load of crap before. You might get a little bit.
Absolutely, yeah. And your performance isn't that great.
Yeah, performance is not good at all.
Your ancient sensitivity's crap. It's just much more efficient when you're eating quality foods, whether it's bodybuilding, powerlifting, strongman. I think a lot of these guys are the strongman guys and the powerlifting guys. That, don't get me wrong, they have to force feed a lot of food, so they just eat anything. But I do think there's a certain level of smartness that should be related to the nutrition in strongman and powerlifting that just isn't there within a lot of competitors.
Yeah, exactly that, man. There's loads of stuff we can discuss about this. For me, I'll be honest with you, when my problem has been under eating, but as I've learned that it's not, I've never tried to just eat shit all day. I can't. I don't think I've ever been a big eater. Only a big eater of like stuff, but in terms of meals, nah, man. And just getting into it now, eating all these meals, like I did notice a massive difference when I was eating bigger portions, all clean. Just an all-round fullness and energy I had as well when I'm training. Obviously now, I'm not saying I'm under eating now, but you should know the difference, in your body. I notice every single difference. I feel if I haven't eaten enough, I'll know it. If I haven't drank enough water, I'll know it. So little things. But yeah,
that's a topic that's come up quite a lot lately. A lot of people have been asking how much water should I drink, and a lot of my clients ask as well. And I personally think, well, one thing I do find is when I take on a new client, particularly a client that wants to build muscle, so their food goes up, their training is more optimal, they naturally have a higher level of thirst anyway.
Yeah, of course. Yeah,
as muscle grows, you need to hydrate more, and you dehydrate a lot easier due to having that more mass. So you naturally should feel more thirsty.
Yeah.
But to those that are asking about water, just drink as much as you need to.
Yeah.
But I think a lot of people almost forget to drink. How you can do that, I have no idea, because I literally carry water with me all the time. Like, I've always, when I'm in the gym with clients, I've got a glass next to me. Like, I've always got some water around me that's just quick to grab. Whether I'm in the gym with a client or like, there's always a bottle of water with me. Whether I'm in the house, I'm always carrying a glass of water around with me. So just ensure you've got water to hand at all times. And not only that, it helps your skin, your brain, you will look better, you'll feel better. It'll help with hunger, so cravings and stuff, because your stomach feels fuller because you're drinking. So again,
you cut off a bit before, but it's all right. Just a bit cut out of the water, but you're back now. But just to touch up on what you said, with me, if we want to talk about water for us personally, water for me. So I think it's important for these things for me. So post workout, I sweat ridiculous amounts. I mean, I can drink 2 liters in a workout.
Yeah.
I still have to replenish afterwards. So if I don't drink after, and I have to have about 700 ml slowly, not neck it. If I don't do that, I'm not going to be hungry. So it helps with my hunger. It helps my digestion. My digestion gets ready.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
With you said it helps. You say it fills your belly. For me, I try to avoid it now. So I do that. That's my little trick. All right. So if anyone's watching this, when I am dehydrated, I'm not hungry. So if I need to make sure I don't want to eat in between a meal and I'm starving, I'll just stop drinking. That's my personal trick, because it does the opposite effect for me, where if I'm dehydrated, I don't want to eat. So that's
I get what you're saying. It's not a healthy approach, so I don't think.
No, 2 hours, literally. No, you're missing the point. No, I mean, I'll have like a tiny sip. I won't drink as much as people over drink. Oh, I'm starving, I want to fill my belly up. Don't do that kind of thing. I just drink a little bit less, and I'll long it out a little bit, like by 30-40 minutes. It's all good. And then because I need water as well, man. This bottle doesn't leave my side. Like I'll carry 5 liters if I have to.
Do you do Ramadan, Ozzy?
No, so with me, I'll be honest, I just fucking suck. Like I can't. With me, I can't.
You're bad.
Yeah, basically, yeah. So I would, you know what it is? It's just the whole access to training and stuff. Like if I did it now, it would be just sort of another kick in the arse going backwards, to be honest. Because
is that your religion?
Yeah, of course it is. But if I had access to a gym to go late night, probably could. With the job I have now, I probably could do it, considering it's at night. And obviously I'm sitting there. I could really even open it there. So that's something to think about as well. It just depends on the gym access. So
I've helped a few guys in that process. There's a few Bangladeshi guys that help with that process.
I'm glad you mentioned it, to be honest. But I'm happy to help people with that. Like I have an approach I'd want. But I think personally, I find it hard to keep size if I'm not eating enough. Like it will be very visible in my body. Like you'll see. And I think there's only
a lot of it's just fullness, though, mate. I think.
A lot of it is just. Definitely. I just think for me, I'd have to use it as like either a cutting phase or a maintenance phase if I can. I just riding through it.
It's pretty hard to slam enough calories in a window that you've got, I suppose, with Ramadan to put on tons of size.
I'm pretty sure I've seen some freaks do it, but so genetics will play a big part, right? Half of these guys don't. I'm pretty sure they don't diet. They'll always let you be eating shit on their plans. They can get away with it. They didn't do all this hard work to get into the shape they are in, but then they'll happily go and diet down. They could be an overweight person, it could be a skinny fat person, like I get skinny fat. It could be whatever, but what they'll do, and I've seen it and I know how it works with a lot of people. So shout out to all the people who are doing it properly with their clients. But me, I don't think I ever want to do it because I don't think it's safe, but these quick 6 to 8 week challenges, only because I think it takes a long time for your body to get used to, like, I don't know what your diet's like, but to get used to things.
Are you talking about this from a putting on size perspective or from a fat loss perspective, the 6 to 8 week challenge?
So let's say fat loss. Let's say fat loss. Forget muscle building for a second. So fat loss is very. All these challenges are for mainly for fat loss, toning up, whatever. So I've never actually seen a plan, but I'd be really curious to see how much cardio do they put them on straight away.
That's the thing, man. A lot of the time it is just crash dieting and crash dieting. Don't get me wrong, like a lot of these people that are doing the 6 to 8 week challenges and they're writing the nutrition, they generally are just putting them in. There's a point that I'd go, there's a limit how low I would take someone initially. But what you've got to remember is, if you've got body fat, you've got fuel, right? So as long as you're covering the bases of protein, as long as you're covering essential amino acids and essential fatty acids and micronutrient basis, you can get away with actually quite a big calorie deficit, and still that person will be healthy, because if they've got so much fat to burn,
Yeah.
That's their energy source, right?
Yeah.
And the lower you take that person's food, the more you will tap into
Yeah. I
that
get it.
energy, that
Makes
fat.
sense. Yeah.
Yeah.
Makes sense. Makes total sense. Just for me, I don't know. I think it's just becoming a fad. But anyway, what I'm trying to say is that just because somebody has for example, I could just go and do it, but I'm not going to go and do it. I'm not going to say, yeah, look, book your place, just quick 8 weeks, diet down, whatever. I've got an option for it with 8 weeks, but calculating it now, I do it in a sensible way. I had the option to. I thought, okay, I could do it, real quick, but that's not the way to go, to be honest. Unless that person has said to you, look, I need to get ready for my wedding, fit into a dress, blah, blah, blah. Okay, cool, maybe. So I understand from that point of view, but don't do it thinking it's the way you need to do it. So I think it needs to be like a long-term thing, and then they should stay with you. And then it's got to be a sensible approach. So touching on the whole side of it, if anyone's doing it, just make sure that a person has good experience with other people and themselves.
Absolutely,
Muscle building as well. Like the stuff I've been told, like half the time I got told just eat, but it wasn't very clear. And what did it do for me? It might put on a bit of size, but I just had a really, everyone has that really bulky fat off season.
I've done
it. I don't like that. But to be fair, I grow, obviously putting on a little bit, but now when I put it on, it's very controlled. Like I have a bit of a taper. I hold that a little bit around the midsection, but it's absolutely fine. It's just not out of control. So it's all cool with me. Obviously, if I wanted to keep it extremely tight, I would, but I'll do that nearer to a show. But right now, just stay healthy, enjoy. For me, ever since coming back onto Instagram and getting back into training, the main thing was just I do it because I enjoy it. So I don't care about anything else, to be honest. And when it's time, I just got to make sure. Obviously, I'm going to compete. I want to make sure I'm competitive. But I've in the past I've done it, especially coming back from like a skinny fat situation. So I'll have a good start this time. But it's all good. I'm doing it nice and slowly. I'm in no rush to get on stage. Like we discussed before. But that's a good topic.
So when you were going about it, did you want to touch on basically there's a lot of genetic freaks out there that grow muscle really easily?
Yeah, man, I'm on about this all day. You got different types of it. So let's talk about the genetic. Genetic people who don't put they won't put on fat very easily, right? So there's like different parts of it. It's the ones who can't put on muscle easily, blah blah blah, but will get fat. Can't put muscle on easily. Hold on, wait, restart. So you got those who will basically don't need to diet. All I need is let's talk about enhanced athletes as well, because I've realized this as well from girls as well. They don't put on fat, so they can just get away with eating. They jump on the anabolics as well, and pretty much they're sorted. They become like an indestructible machine. I'm not joking. That's what I've seen, and they'll just take it, eat what they want. It's all fuel. It's all lean muscle. They look amazing and put on good muscle tissue as well. So that for me is the biggest advantage if you've got it. Secondly, we could talk about shape and whatnot, which is probably where I'm going to fit in my structure wise. That's where I get saved. But as you mentioned before, with the upbringing as well, man. Come on, I'm Asian. I was brought up around curry and unhealthy habits. Junk food all day. So for me, I think that's my downfall. That's just my background, and how I grew up.
Do you so like have you like pretty much eradicated that types of food from your upbringing now, like in just such a bodybuilding diet, or do you still implement like the Asian culture food into your lifestyle?
I'm so not cultural, bro. Like honestly, if I go to, let's say I go to a family event right now, I will. People expect me to eat loads, but I will fill the plate really, and then I'll just nibble at. I don't know. It's just I just nibble at bits. Or if there's like I'm a meat eater, so if there's like kebabs and stuff like that, I'll just eat those. I'm not a big curry. I don't like oily food in this, just drenched chicken and shit like that. So bro, I'll eat my mum's food 2-3 times in the year. And I'm pretty happy not to eat it just because I don't feel good afterwards. It tastes amazing. I'm not gonna say it doesn't.
No, there's some amazing dishes.
But then I get all these guys coming up to me like, oh yeah, I get it every day. I pretty much get it every day, and it's just like they can't resist it. And that's up to you. Like you can maybe make a diet to fit it in, but that's still gonna limit and hinder how far you're gonna get with it. But for me, let's just say I'm done with bodybuilding, right? And I don't care about how much quality muscle I put on.
Yeah.
I'd probably have one regularly if I went to my mum's. I'd be like, yeah, go on. She's always got food there. I'd be like, yeah, I'll have a bit. But right
Yeah.
now,
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm still I try my best. Right now, I'm not too bad. I'm just considering this training because I think when you competition prep is just a different level of things. So, yeah, in order for me to wanting to do that, I have to nip that in the bud. So,
Yeah.
for all you Asian boys watching this, man, just put it aside for a bit. Even if you're not going to compete, just put it aside. You can have it later on. 4 months of hard work, and you can do a lot. But I just need to make it a lifestyle habit of don't have it every day. But I'm not at home anymore, so
Yeah.
even easier for me. Like, I'm not gonna lie, my preps were hard when I was at home. My dad would do shit everywhere. That 20 packs of biscuits, this, that, and the other. Oh my god! I got my nieces, nephews. Here we've got like a very small cupboard where we have some stuff, but it's just not even that big, and it's just all controlled. Like, that's the thing. So you either distract yourself from it, but a lot of these guys' problems are they don't like to cook. They don't like to cook or know how to cook.
Yeah.
And I don't know about you.
Does your partner eat healthily, or how does she?
Yeah, she's 50-50. This is a good thing. So like, if I fully want to go strict, so this is she's gonna hear this as well. For my last prep, like, she went on a diet with me, man, and she got pretty ripped. Like, just I said, diet, just eat this, follow the plan, and just to make it easier for me, because I was really struggling with that last prep. And then so now it's sort of I'll make a big batch of food, make mine, and then she has the option to, like, our breakfasts are pretty similar in a way. So she doesn't eat crap, but she's got that freedom too. But lockdown one, the first one, we were just eat whatever, because I wasn't trained.
First lockdown. First lockdown was a bit more like.
So it's who you're around as well, man. Like, so this is the thing.
Absolutely. Like, I like to touch on that. Like, having someone that supports you in your goals with your, whether it's just getting in shape for your average person, whether it's a bodybuilding show. Like, I think the person that you're with needs to be supportive. And like, personally, for me, like, I've said to many of my clients before, if the person that you're with is not supportive of you getting healthier and looking better and feeling better, you might want to look at getting rid of that person.
Yeah, that's totally right. Because
many times I've seen clients of mine, their partners have not been supportive because partly their partners have been jealous, which is sometimes
understandable.
Actually worked out where their partners then came to me, or then hired another trainer or another coach. But I don't ever believe that you should be jealous of your partner being more successful and getting in better shape. That's ludicrous. Like, if I was with a girl and she was a better competitor than me, and she was touching on a pro card, or I'd be so happy for them. Like, I would not be jealous in any way. Like, as long as you're happy with what you're doing, like, that's what matters. Like, but if you're not happy with what you're doing, then change it. You should not be jealous of another individual because they're doing something better than you. And when it's your own partner, I mean, don't get me wrong, for some individuals, like men, for example, they might not like their partner getting leaner or more muscular. But you have to respect that it's their goal to do that. And you should support them, like, in what they're doing. Don't get me wrong, if someone if someone is doing something that is unhealthy, and a lot of people are going to go, well, oh, my partner, he's a male or female, and they're starting to use steroids and that kind of stuff. Don't get me wrong, there's certain health implications that can come along with steroids. So I could understand someone being a bit worried in that circumstance where their partner's starting to use performance enhancing drugs or something like that. I can completely understand that. But as long as that in that circumstance, just ensure that your partner's using a coach that knows what they're doing in terms of helping people with those substances. The problem arises is when people haven't got a clue what they're doing, and they start using performance enhancing drugs. And then I've seen it, clients of mine have used performance enhancing drugs. They haven't followed my advice and they have ended up in hospital.
Yeah, man, that happens.
So like and norm, yeah, I'm not going to talk specifics, and actually that's disrespectful, but there's certain clients of mine that have ended up in some very negative health positions due to not dosing, like I've said, or not or doing certain things that I've said not to do, yeah, so in that circumstance, just to make sure your partner's doing the correct thing. And obviously,
So
with female, let me just continue. There's females that use certain things that can obviously cause masculinity, and I'm not talking in terms of getting leaner, in terms of growing muscle. I'm talking facial hair. I'm talking their voice is getting deeper.
what's the main one?
So
the main one.
yeah, I mean, yeah, it's quite easy to recognize when a female is using performance enhancing drugs. Then again, I do know a lot of girls have used things like Anavar,
It's cool,
and
man.
their voices have been normal, to be honest, and then no problems.
Yeah.
So, but when things are more like being used like testosterone or nandrolone, I have seen some things that have been worse.
It's what's the word? What's the word for each individual? Well, yeah, it's just different for each different individual, right? So I'm pretty sure one girl could take a little amount and they would get massive side effects, or some. There's a lot of if you look out there's a lot of females who hide it, like you wouldn't tell from the voice, from the face, whatever.
Yeah. I mean, well, there's a lot of bikini girls that you wouldn't be able to tell, to be honest.
Yeah. So you there's a point where you'll clock it. But at the end of the day, look, building muscle, even if you're a woman, is respectful, is cool.
Yeah, absolutely.
So I think it's just people who lie about it.
I think I don't know, man. I think we made different opinions. I think people can do whatever they want to do, and it's their own body, and they don't have to be honest or talk about it because it's their business at the end of the day. Like, I think certain people fall out with people because they don't admit that they use this or use that. At the end of the day, it's their business. They can say whatever they want.
I get what you mean.
If they don't want to talk to you about what they're doing, then it's their prerogative, kind of thing.
No, I see what you're saying, but for me, that's cool. Obviously, we could keep going back and forth, but for me, it's just sort of like, oh, you're doing it, but you sound like you're ashamed of it. But then they'll touch on the topic of they could have a reason, like the business, or they just, maybe they just don't want to be looked at badly, which is cool. But
as you both know, there's a massive stigma related to the use of anabolic steroids, and okay.
I'm very open about it. I don't care.
There's such a big stigma. Yeah. Why? I have no idea.
I cannot lie. I've never been able to lie. This is the thing with me. If I've had it a few times actually, where people have assumed I'm natural, which is when I'm not, by the way. And I get really fucking offended. I'm just sort of like, am I wasting my money then? Like, I'm spending on this much, injecting myself with that much, and I look natural. Wow. Because the whole reason I think a lot of people take them is to obviously try and push beyond that look.
Yeah. I was the opposite. When I was like 16, 17, I was getting accused of being on it, and I wasn't on it.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And I trained harder than anyone else my age. I was more educated on training than anyone else. My education on supplements and diet wasn't fantastic at like 16, 17, but I ate a lot of food. I just pushed food.
Yeah.
So I was the biggest in my year probably at one point, but it was down to just really force feeding and training so hard, because I trained around guys Say again, mate.
How old?
I mean, when I was 16, 17, I got accused of being on stuff then. Because I went from like 9 stone to like 14 stone in less than 2 years. So I put on 5 stone in less than 2 years. And that was without even an educated nutrition approach, really. Like slightly educated, but not massively educated nutrition approach. My training, as we spoke about before, was like a bro split, but I trained really hard. And the bottom line is, if you train really hard, you're going to elicit some kind of response in terms of muscle growth. So in my year, everyone was like, even at 16, people were like, I don't want to be as big as you, or I just want to be a bit bigger. And I'm like, it don't happen overnight.
Yeah, that's another
Yeah.
thing.
Yeah, that was quite
I've
quite
got,
funny to me back in the day.
oh mate, I've got pictures I'd love to show. Like I've got my biceps were about
Yeah,
that big, just from doing a little bit of
yeah,
gym. And I
yeah,
remember in school, everyone's, oh my god, they're huge, man. Like, and,
yeah, 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 yeah.
this is obviously I was
Your
completely
biceps are popping out your shirt, like your
literally like
school
that, man.
shirt and
Yeah.
that. Yeah,
But obviously I didn't have a clue what I was doing. I
yeah,
was always a fat kid, but education, nutrition and stuff really just kicked in with me
mm,
after each show. To be honest, that's how I learned.
yeah,
I learn a lot. It sounds really bad, but like if I make a mistake, obviously I learn a lot from those because then I'll never do them again.
absolutely, yeah,
But
yeah, yeah,
like I said, I'm getting better and better. So fingers crossed for next time. I honestly like getting huge is just my part of bringing something different to the stage as well. Obviously, conditioning will be with that as well. But
mm.
I don't really need to walk around so big. So while I'm
No,
here for a bit, I'm happy to keep pushing it for a bit, see if I can gain
yeah,
some
yeah,
as well. And then if I just feel like it's not benefiting me, then no. But I want to see if I can push my body up over 100 and just feel, because I feel really shitty at 100. I'm not gonna lie. And I'm not
mm.
overweight, like meaning really fat when I pushed it recently.
Yeah,
I saw this on a podcast with Fuad, and it was about getting to a weight and then holding that weight and getting comfortable there. Does that make sense?
yeah, yeah. No, yeah, 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 100%.
So I genuinely
I
think,
think you've got to make sure that that weight isn't one that's going to like really push your waist out.
yeah,
Um,
be lean. It's got
like
to be lean.
some people aim for like this weight 300 pounds, like right,
No.
and I think we both know of at least one individual in the bodybuilding industry that their dream goal has been 300 pounds. They've got to 300 pounds, and now their physique is not
Yeah.
very good because they pushed their waist out. They
Man,
gained a lot of fat in the process, and they've kind of almost ruined their physique to be a top level bodybuilder now.
hey, I'm not gonna lie. Like for me, looking at most physiques now, I'm not talking about a bubble gut here. Sorry.
Yeah,
Do you find that their waists get wider? This might sound really stupid. I'm not sure, but bro. So when you're saying that physiques have been pushing weight, blah blah blah, and fair play, they push the weight up, they get really big. But I feel like it all sort of grows with it. So they've got the
yeah,
mass, but then
yeah,
you sort of lose that natural taper. Because like
yeah,
I don't know where it came from, but obviously everyone talks about the old school bodybuilding, and I'm not referring to classic because obviously that's just the whole
yeah,
thing in 2020. But man, the thickness them guys had on just the upper and the lower, and their waist just looked like a normal
mm,
average person's
yeah,
waist.
yeah,
It was just amazing,
yeah,
man. So for me,
yeah,
that's kind of what I want. So I'm not too fussed about pushing, the mass too hard because I know back to my frame, I just think it will hold it really well. So yeah, for me, like, if I can just get chunky legs, I'm good.
yeah,
I'll be,
yeah.
I'll be happy.
Yeah, as I said, man, I just don't think people should focus on a certain excessive body weight to be at. Like,
Yeah, bad habit, guys. Bad.
grow steady, don't
Mhm.
ruin your physique,
Yeah.
don't force. Don't get me wrong, there's a certain level of force feeding that comes with being a big bodybuilder, right? There's a certain level of food that needs to be eaten to get to a certain level of muscularity.
Yeah.
Um, and I even think in classic, a lot of guys have got. I mean, you said that you can't get into classic really, but even for me, to get into classic, I like, for me at an amateur level, for me in classic, that's like 220 pounds. As I'm 6'1". Even I have to in off season push food to get to like about 250ish in the off season, which is where I kind of need to be in my off season. To then diet back down. Luckily with me, my stomach always shrinks back down.
Yeah.
And Josh Maley, who's helped me with shows before, he's said to me like, Jeff, your waist is phenomenal when you diet down. Like, it does go tiny, and that's partly because I've never really pushed food to the limit, and I just think it can really ruin a physique.
It's not just
And
food, though, is it? Do you think it's a combination of everything? Food,
I think
drugs?
it's mostly food. I've seen tons of guys, mate, that don't use insulin, don't use growth hormone, and they've still got big guts, and it's from forcing food.
Really? Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Well, mate, look at the general population. There's guys with massive stomachs who've never done insulin or growth hormone, guys with beer bellies that are rock solid, that are big and round, right? They've never used the bodybuilding drugs, and they've got huge stomachs, and they've ate a lot, they've drunk a lot of beer.
Yeah, I see where you're going.
So it comes down, in my opinion, it's consumption of food that is the key. And people will use insulin to be able to eat more food sometimes. I'm not sure if you've used insulin before, but obviously insulin stimulates hunger, particularly when you're going into a hypo, and then people are trying to ram loads of sugars in at that point. And something that I need to say is your insulin use should work around your diet, not the other way around. Don't design your diet around how much insulin you want to use. Design your insulin use around how much food you're eating.
Because I get that. So with me, so now the topic's on insulin, which is cool, fine. What I've learned from people, and I've just decided to go with it, how I feel more comfortable, is doing mine pre and post workout. Only because obviously that's one way I got told, and then I'd been given a plan. Not given, I got showed like a professional's plan, and it was just about doing it with breakfast and then doing it with XYZ meal. And I just thought, no, I don't really want to be doing that every single meal. Because I don't think my body has not got a problem processing it. I think for me, my body puts to use all of the carbs, and it, like, very well, is around my training. 100%. I've noticed that as well. So don't take any science here, guys. It's just literally from experience. So with me, it will be, I think it's pretty safe as well, because if I can neck all of that, I'll just drink whatever carbs I need to. My blood sugar doesn't go that low.
It's do you know what, mate? It's different. I wouldn't say insulin's completely safe, but what I would say is there is a safe protocol to do.
And everyone's different.
If you're knowledgeable on insulin, you can do it safely. But if you're not knowledgeable on insulin,
don't do it.
Don't do insulin.
Mate, honestly, look, I've in the past, I've only ever done it once. I'll be honest with you. I'm not naming names here, but I actually had a conversation recently. So I got told to do like 10 IUs pre-workout.
With how many carbohydrates?
100 grams. I had 100 grams.
Okay, right, yeah. So let me just respond to that. So for some people, that will be okay. Right? So if you're doing 100 grams of carbs and you're doing 10 IU of insulin, for some, that will be okay. For some, that will send them hypo. And particularly when you're training really hard, and the harder you train, and the more glucose you're going to burn, the more likely you are to go hypo. No, for me, no, I wasn't saying, listen, I just got told to do it. Someone said, just try it. I said, fine, I'll try it. So we can work.
Where I was going with it was, no, it wasn't that it was bad. Like I said, I have enough carbs to supplement whatever I take, but I'll tell you where it went bad. So anyway, like I did the 10 IUs, I had the 100 grams of carbs. I was training, and I shit you not, and I remember this pump very clearly. I did 2 sets on my cable. I was warming up. 2 sets on my cable, and I had the dirtiest pump. It got to a point where I could not press, like, because it was so pumped. I never felt anything like it. 2 days, so I thought, oh, that was amazing. Let me try that again later on. It got to a point where my body, I don't know why, and you can maybe add some knowledge into this or whatever, but with that amount of carbs, I don't know if it's insulin, my body wasn't responding. So I wasn't getting that same pump. I was just sort of getting like a lethargic, like same amount of insulin. I only did it once more after, and I thought, sod it. And same amount of carbs as well. It just didn't have the same effect. So now with that, I realized, like, when I've done it, obviously just before lockdown, and again, I got my best results from it. I just needed a little bit just to help push the food, the carbs around a little bit. And I just think my body responded to that a lot better, and it wasn't regular. I did like one day, then a rest, or I wouldn't even do that often, to be honest. I think I did it on just my weak point. So like I did it on chest, because I want to bring my chest up, my legs, because back I haven't got a problem with, and obviously arms is a priority. So that's just how I did it, to be honest. I didn't abuse it. I just used it as like a little boost for those areas. And I'll only ever do it for a maximum of like 4 weeks. Obviously thinking now in my head, someone's gonna have a different opinion, which is cool. But for me,
mate, you'll get lots of opinions of insulin.
Yeah,
Not all of them are
I
right,
don't
but
want
there's a
it.
lot of them.
Yeah, mate. That's why I don't bother asking questions anymore. To be honest, I just go by what I sort of know, and like, it works. And I don't want to have. I don't rely on these things. No, I know what I don't rely on them. So it's
Yeah,
something I sort of use towards the end, which I'm going to do this time again. Or just for short periods of time. But
yeah,
yeah, otherwise, look, at the end of the day, man, I just focus on the food, trying to get the food right, the
yeah,
intake,
yeah,
the training, really. Just keep it basic as
yeah.
possible. I don't like
So
being.
you think that? Sorry, mate. Carry on.
No, I don't like being too extra. That's it.
So you used it for more of, you used insulin pre-workout for a performance, from a performance perspective,
Yeah. So literally,
and then that feeling didn't last. So you did it, and then eventually doing the 10 IU of insulin and 100 grams of carbs, you didn't get that same pump after the first time you did it.
yeah. So for me, that's what. So yeah, it's from a performance point of view. So back, like I said, I was being a dick just trying it. Just recommend
Yeah.
for
What
me.
carbs did you use out of interest, and what insulin?
Insulin was Nova Rapid.
Yeah.
If it was gonna be carbs back then, I was using is it Glycofuse? Gaspari Nutrition.
The Gaspari, yeah. And you were doing 100 grams of carbs from that.
Hmm.
Oh, wow. That's got a lot of carbs in that, yeah.
Yeah, so that, but anyway, yeah, like I said, I just did 2 days of it, and I thought, oh, that don't work for me. And
Yeah.
then
But it
just
did, but it worked initially, and you got an
you
amazing
know,
pump.
yeah,
And did it last? Did that pump last for the whole workout or not?
yeah, I had that pump for ages, like, but I couldn't train. I physically could not train. Like, I
But the
just,
time after that, so the first time it worked, the second time it didn't work.
yeah, second time I did back that day, and I didn't feel the
Yeah.
same.
Yeah.
Maybe it's different on the muscle group. I don't know, but I just didn't feel the same. I just
Yeah.
think it's too much for me. Like, I was forcing it down. Don't get me wrong. I wasn't just drinking 100 grams of carbs like it was a fun time. It's nasty, man.
Yeah. Depends if it tastes good, like 100 grams of dextrose is pretty easy to drink.
That's like sugar,
It
yeah.
depends on the taste of the carbohydrate, right? So,
Yeah.
but
When it was really
yeah,
sweet, too sweet. When it's too sweet, I get really dry mouth. So with me,
yeah.
when I tend to obviously do it, I have a full bottle of 2 liter water, and I get like a
Yeah.
500 ml mixed in with my carbs. So that's going to be essentially be really sweet. So I've done my insulin and stuff. Start sipping
Yeah.
that, have a swig, like a tiny swig of water, and I'll do that the whole workout, and that gets me going, to be honest.
Yeah.
But just
Yeah.
then, like, I've noticed it just helps towards the end of this at the end of a cycle, and I think, all right, I've done a lot with my food now. Now let's try to push this food in even more by choosing some insulin, adds a tiny bit of extra carbs to what you're eating as well, and it just makes more use of it for me. And like I said, I can't do it for a long period of time. So anyone who's doing it, I know guys who just love using it, but I personally don't think it's a good thing to do too much of and too often.
I will give my views on insulin. What do you think of or have you used like a Matador or a Glycomax or some kind of GDA pre-workout with carbs?
I've tried them, but I'll be honest.
Yeah.
I kind of like to feel, if I'm taking something, I like to feel it. So
Yeah.
What was it? It's supposed to make your body use up the carbs really
It's a
quickly.
glucose disposal agent. So yeah,
pretty much. I saw a post about this recently. So it's not something I felt worked for me. Like I said, my body's not got a problem with it. Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, high, heavy amounts of carbs. So for example, if I'm gonna push again, I will use them. Yeah, because I've never eaten that much food. But for me, in terms of actually putting, my usual amount of food to use, the insulin was a good little touch. So that's why I used it. So that's why I'm like really confident for my next push, because I'll be adding the extra food in, possibly using insulin. I don't know. I don't really ask. I try not to be one of those clients who says, when are we adding this gear in? Like, I don't rely on it. I just say, cool, do it. But yeah, go on.
No, I've personally used Matador and Glycomax pre-workout, and I get 100% a better pump from doing that.
Yeah.
I normally dosed 25 grams per cap, if I use Glycomax with my pre-workout meal, I definitely get a better pump when I'm training. So I'm happy with that, and I find, to be honest, I've not used insulin pre-workout, but I think for a lot of people, using insulin pre-workout could be quite risky in terms of them going hypo. So I'd steer, if for most individuals, I think they should be steering clear. Now, what you've got to remember is obviously we've got our own pancreas, and our pancreas releases insulin. Now, if we are someone that has a decent level of insulin sensitivity, our pancreas will quite easily handle the carbohydrates that we're eating. That said, if we eat too many carbohydrates, our pancreas may struggle to cope with that much. And obviously this is how people become type 2 diabetic. They have too much fat, and they basically abuse their bodies, and they become type 2 diabetic. Side note to that, I've had a ton of type 2 diabetic clients that I have reversed and got them using no insulin. That's been obviously highly rewarding to me. So when I've had an individual come to me and they've been using insulin, they're type 2 diabetic, if I get that person in shape, they do what I ask of them, eventually they no longer need any insulin because their pancreas and their body is now functioning correctly. So as you said, when pushing food, insulin has more of a place, right?
Yeah, exactly.
There's another area where people will be using insulin is when they're using growth hormone. Obviously growth hormone can increase blood sugar, and this is why I say to people, if you're going to use growth hormone, ensure that you're testing fasted blood glucose to see if it is affecting that, because there have been multiple people that have become diabetic from using growth hormone. So ensure that you are testing your blood glucose. Monday, Wednesday, Friday is fine. When you're doing GH, even like obviously people know the MK677 can increase blood glucose as well. So using either berberine or a GDA or even insulin with MK677 can actually work very, very well. In terms of insulin protocols, we have to remember, obviously, and you've already said it pretty much, what insulin is for. It's a shuttling hormone. So when I say most, this is probably my opinion when it's most important, but every meal that we eat, we want to absorb correctly and efficiently, right? Now, post-workout, not that I completely agree with this, and as I said before, your insulin should work around your diet. A lot of people are doing a 2-to-1 ratio of carbohydrates to protein. There's been studies on this that shows that that is fantastic for performance and progression, development, muscular development, strength development, etc. So if someone's having 50 grams of protein, they would do a 2-to-1 ratio would be 100 grams of carbohydrates. Now, will most people's bodies handle that amount of carbohydrates quite easily? I would say most healthy individuals with a healthy body fat percentage, their insulin sensitivity will be at a point where they will be fine with that. Now, you can facilitate that absorption with doing insulin, because 100 grams of carbohydrates is still more than I'd say what most people would consume in a meal, right? But I would personally say, don't go straight in at 10 IU, right? Start at 0.5 IU per 10 grams of carbohydrates. So that 100 gram of carbs, you would start at 5 IU. If you don't go hypo at that, you can increase next time to 6, up to a maximum, in my opinion, of 1 IU of insulin per 10 grams of carbohydrates. That said, if you test your blood glucose, I'm not sure if you've ever done this, if you get a blood glucose monitor, which are quite cheap off eBay, you can keep track on how long it's taken for your body to deal with that carbohydrate amount, right? So that will tell you really if your body is utilizing those carbohydrates efficiently, which is why on a bulk, many coaches do this. They will get their client to assess their fasting blood glucose to see where that is, to see if their body is dealing well with the high levels of food that they're doing. Very, very good, particularly if you're using growth hormone in the off season. Very efficient method. But the basics of it is, post workout, I feel personally is the best time to use insulin, and start half 0.5 IU per 10 grams of carbohydrates. Because I know many people that have gone hypo post workout, and you can end up in hospital and you can die.
Yeah, mate, I guess
so. Be very, very careful, obviously, with that.
No, thank you. Like that, but makes sense. All that makes sense.
Yeah, for sure. You just got to be careful, you know.
Yeah, I've just.
But that protocol should see a lot of people right.
Yeah, no, that does make sense. But with me, it's like I said, I was just trying something, and then most of the time, I just feel I'll be honest with you, I'm being dead honest. I see a lot of people doing the blood glucose thing. Like me, I just, how do I say it? Like, everyone's got their own way. Like, I don't see every single bodybuilder doing it, like, you know, or checking it.
Yeah,
but it's fine. It's fine if people want to do it, man. That's cool. But when you know,
if you're pushing food, I think it's efficient.
Yeah, I know. I know when I'm, you know, my body needs carbs and shit like that, you know. But I don't know. I don't know if it's anything I'd probably get into, to be honest, unless I get told to. But yeah, it's just that's kind of why I'm with Sass. Is just really basic and chilled. You know, we're keeping it nice and simple. But maybe when I start insulin, he might make.
If your body fat, it's an accurate way to kind of not get fat.
Yeah. How many carbs?
So if you're assessing your fasting blood glucose, and it's in check daily, you're cool. The moment that blood glucose, that fasting blood glucose, is too high, at that point you might want to pull back. I think a lot of people are doing these mini cuts and all this kind of stuff.
Hate that word.
If you're keeping tabs on your fasting blood glucose, I don't think there's a necessity for that, because when your fasting blood glucose starts to get to a level where it's a bit like, okay, right, we might be pushing food a little bit too much at this point.
Yeah.
Your fasting blood glucose will let you know. Don't get it wrong. A generic method would be, if someone's looking a bit too fluffy, carrying a bit too much body fat, you can pull back at that point. But a more accurate method, and to not waste time, would just be, right, test your fasting blood glucose. If it's fine, we're still in a good position where your body is utilizing the nutrients that we're putting in there. Okay. So yeah, that's a pretty accurate method on how to do that.
Right. The last topic, this one's for you. All right. Good luck with this one. So I had a question about blood work. Right, now I'll just give my little 2 pence on it. 2 pence, you can give the educated response. 2 pence on it is, so do you go for Medi-checks? What do you do? Very quickly.
I've done both of them. I've done Medi and I've done Thriva, and I'm sure there's others, but those are two that I've done.
You know, you get a doctor's review at the end of it, right? So for me, I'm just being honest. I ain't got the science, but I'm a bro. I'm a proper bro when it comes to training. So with the, so I'll be honest, all the numbers and, you know, all the measurements or whatever, the numbers where they're at. I could do some research if I wanted to, but I choose not to. Because we get a doctor's review at the end of it. We do get a doctor's review. I go through it. They give you lifestyle changes to do. I make those lifestyle changes just to help with whatever problems are there. There's just a few things I look at anyway, just like, okay, I've got a lot of more green markers. And if at the end of it, they say, look, it's you know, you're good to go. Everything's okay. Just make these changes and you should be fine. I'm good with that. I can live with that. And like I said, unless I was feeling like I had a problem, obviously we don't know about every single problem that's going on with us, which is fine. But unless I really felt get checked, I would go further. But yeah, the minute I do come off, I start feeling more healthier, but I just make sure everything's working. So I got my blood test due soon, and I could share that with you lot on next week or whatever, if I do it next week. But yeah, with the numbers and stuff, what do you look at? What should people look at mostly when they go for blood work. Can be natural, people can be enhanced or whatever. But what's the most important?
Yeah. Personally, I think liver, kidneys, cholesterol. Those are the three main things in my opinion. Now, as we've touched on.
Oh, we lost him. I don't know if you can hear me. I lost you, Jeff.
Lost you there for a sec, mate. One sec, man. Are you there?
Am I back?
Yeah, I don't know what happened there, man.
Oh, blur. Anyway, I'll check that later. But I cut off for a second. Carry on. What were you saying?
You're still recording. So yeah. So ALT is a liver enzyme that some people, when they see that ALT is really high, that they will be scared because I think, oh no, my liver's broke, my liver's having a problem. Now, ALT, alanine transferase, can actually be elevated purely from weight training. So 12 days, it can be elevated for up to 12 days. So that's one thing that I just want to say to people. If that's elevated, don't necessarily worry unless you've obviously had like 2 weeks off training and not do any strenuous exercise. And then obviously kidneys, cholesterol. Do you know what? Most people's cholesterol is out of whack because they're not intaking enough omega-3s. And I've had multiple people come to me and their cholesterol's been out, and I've literally said, how much omega-3 are you taking? Sometimes it's very little, sometimes they're not taking any at all. We've increased their omega-3s to at least, like, we start on like 4 gram with about 1,000 EPA and 500 DHA, and then they'll be in a position where I put it this way, I've seen multiple people's blood works where cholesterol is perfect, and they have been using 500 milligram plus tren, 100 milligram plus D-bol, 500 milligram plus testosterone, and their cholesterol's been perfect. So there is ways to ensure that your cholesterol is perfect whilst using performance enhancing drugs. Hemoglobin and hematocrit when using steroids will generally be increased anyway. So yeah, the main three really: liver, kidneys, cholesterol. I can't think of any others that I would be really, really worried about. Those are the first ones that I would be worried about in terms of performance enhancing drugs.
But that's it. But
yeah, and obviously
get it done. I think a lot of people, with me, I'll be honest with you, and I'm very.
Yeah.
I've only. When was it? I'll be honest. I actually only started doing it 2-3 years ago, and I've been doing gear since I was 21.
Yeah.
So that.
Yeah.
That just goes to show, like, I hope a lot of younger people are doing it now, because I know a lot of people around 20 have started as well, and they're really into it. But yeah, sure. I wish I did more, more often when I was younger, but thankfully,
yeah,
ain't too bad. So I've just
it's cool. Do you know anything that's pretty cool to do?
What's that? What, get it done?
Is getting another thing that's pretty cool to do is to get your like actual hormone levels checked. So get your testosterone checked, your free testosterone checked, get your free androgen index checked to see where the substances that you're using is actually putting those hormone levels.
I'll let you know. I'm doing that next.
Like for people, yeah, I always love looking over blood work. And for anyone that's watching this, if you want to send me a blood work, I will look at your blood work. I love looking at blood work. And it helps me learn about people's bodies and the averages, what's going on in most people's bodies. And I have quite a few clients that I look over their blood work actually. And another interesting thing to me is, I think we I don't know if we touched on that before, is like TRT basically. So getting someone's testosterone in the perfect level. So many individuals have come to me and their testosterone have been very, very low, and we've then manipulated their testosterone via exogenous testosterone to put them at a level still within normal range where they just felt so much better. Like I've had guys come to me like 10 nanomoles and we've pushed them to like 20, and they felt so much better. Like a lot of guys, they feel like absolute crap. They struggle to lose body fat. They struggle to gain muscle because simply their testosterone just is not high enough.
Can I interrupt?
It's been damaged via. Yeah, carry on, mate.
No, I try to interrupt because of your topic there. I need to. I'm going through that right now. So, bro, my food's very low, and I'll be honest with you. If I was on cycle, my testosterone was.
Yeah.
I would have probably been lean by now, considering how low I'm on. No, I'm not gonna lie. I feel like
yeah, because your metabolism would have been higher being on testosterone. Yeah.
Yeah, so what he's done, so I like I said, if he makes my food go any lower, I think I will probably fucking struggle. But you know, given his experience,
you're gonna kick off.
Hey.
I said, will you kick off if it goes any lower?
Probably, but I've only got 4 more weeks left of it, hopefully. So
yeah,
last month of it.
Yeah.
But anyway,
so you're on nothing right now.
I'm on nothing. Literally, it was just sort of okay, taper off, and I tapered down, and then I got my stuff, and then it says just start. I was like, okay, yeah, that's cool. And then obviously as time went on, I'm like, okay, I'm feeling that crash now. I'm feeling that crash. Like when I wake up, I'm just extra tired compared to when I was on. I think I was on as well when I was on. But anyway, my point being, like he's dropped his food. If I was on, would have been a lot leaner by now. Midsection's holding a bit of fat still. But I think it's I'm not
that's
saying
normal,
I'm not saying I can't lose it. I'm saying it's a lot slower. So
you
saw me from when I was training.
Yes,
I'm very lean everywhere else. My legs are very lean, but obviously the stubborn point that I have is my stomach. So that will probably become. I'm giving it 4 more weeks, considering from where I know from experience where it comes in a little bit. So yeah, man, I'm just hoping that he doesn't drop the food anymore, man, because I'm starving on this. To be honest, like I think up the cardio.
Yeah,
do it. Up the cardio. Don't care. I'll do an hour if I need to do it.
Yeah.
But whoever is listening, it is a good point. Not saying to jump on or anything, but if you're experiencing coming off, that's probably a big reason why. And I know that.
To be honest, mate, if I were you personally, I'd be doing TRT at least. I'd be doing like 125 milligrams testosterone a week.
Know why?
I don't really see. Say again.
It's fertility doses. That's why. It says we come off for a reason.
I don't see a. Yeah.
No, we come off for a reason.
Because you're worried about fertility.
No, we're trying. So.
Oh right, okay, I understand. Yeah. To be fair, then, mate, you could. I mean, I have known guys get their girlfriends pregnant using like high levels of tren and test.
I couldn't. Tried. I couldn't.
So it's not to say that you couldn't.
No, I tried. Like, for me, when I'm on, I just don't think they want to. But I don't know. I try to be sensible. But at the moment, it should be a matter of when it happens. But this is my plan from now on. So after this break, it will be I'm gonna blast, and then I'll do a cruise.
Yeah.
And then from there, after that, I'll blast and cruise. To be honest, I think I need that little boost. Last time, I think. Before, so the show I met you at, when I did the show before that, I did the blast and cruise before that, and I was having a really good time. I was my training was great. When
you say cruise, what were you doing? What dosages?
Half a mil every 7 to 10 days is what I got. I got advised, cool. Man. Like I said, it's my first time doing it, so
and I think that's fine.
Yeah.
I think 125 milligrams of testosterone in your in like your off phase or whatever, because what you've got to remember, 125 milligram is basically going to mimic a natural person's dose, a natural healthy testosterone level, right? But I get guys coming to me, mate, and they are like, I've had as low as 1.5. And
really shit.
In my opinion, anything below 14. What you got to remember is a normal level is like 9 to 29. So anything below, I think 15 is not that great.
I've had 4 before.
I think
I've had 4.
What yours has been 4?
No, long time ago it was 4.
Your actual testosterone yourself was 4.
Yeah, I came back. I think it was 4. Yeah, I came back. It
Yeah.
was really fucking low. Oh, I had like a
And
little.
that was that after a cycle?
Yeah, so I came. This is the first time I started doing
Yeah.
my blood tests, and I was really curious. I was like, I should
Yeah,
have
yeah.
had this done. And it was the first time
Yeah, yeah.
checking. And bro, yeah, it came up really low. But after that, I've done it twice, and I've managed to get them
Yeah.
back in range. So
So post cycle, you've managed to get back into between 9 and 29.
yeah, so basically, I wasn't. My problem was I wasn't hitting hard enough PCT. Which
Yeah, yeah,
that's the only
yeah,
difference I made. So the first time I didn't really PCT, tried it, yeah, my test was dirty low, and then the
yeah,
other
yeah.
times I just hit a bit of a heavier, nothing crazy, a bit heavier, and it brought it back up. And since then, every time I do it, nice. So if I was to do it now, which I am,
Yeah.
it'll be back up. I feel good.
What is your PCT protocol?
Literally just right now, it's really simple, but like I said, it's not nothing. It's 1,000 IU HCG every day. With 50 milligrams of Clomid. He said he gave me the option to do 100, but I just thought no, 50 should be okay.
Yeah,
Half a milligram of or MCG, whatever, of Arimidex every other day.
yeah.
That's pretty much all.
No Nolva in there.
Hey,
No Nolvadex.
no, it's not. But obviously, from
No.
his experience, I just he said that's all he ran. So I was like, I'll just keep it nice and simple like that as well. If I need to do anything, so the test I'm doing next is there's a fertility test I want to do, or it'll be the hormone test. I'm not going to just do the basic one. I'm just gonna pay a bit more. And just get all that checked because I need to get a better understanding. But that's
how long has it been since your last jab, and what was it?
I have to look at the calendar now because so here I think it's been 4 weeks. So the whole of Feb I've done nothing basically.
Yeah, mate, I got you back now. Yeah.
Okay,
I just didn't hear when I asked the question, when was your last jab, and I didn't hear anything after that.
Okay, yeah, I had to stop recording it, but we have a few glitches in the video, but whatever. So I checked the calendar. It's been the whole of Feb, I've not done anything. So it's towards the end of January, I did my last jab of test. So I probably did 250 because I was tapering down. And then that's it. He had me on just test. Towards the end, when he tapered me off the primo, tapered me off that, then took it out, and it was just test. And then it just slowly went less, and 250 was the lowest. And then
so when was your last jab of test?
Exact date I don't know, but it was end of January. So in the last, let's say 20. I'm going to say 26.
Where are we now? End of Feb.
20. So now it's the 28th. So let's say 26.
What you got to remember is, to be honest, mate, what test was it? An anphate or?
Nah, I use SIP. I like SIP.
Okay, so what you got to remember is, mate, that SIP might still be in your system now.
Yeah, it could be. That's what I'm not doing.
Cypionate, sustanon, and anphate can both be in the system for like 6 weeks-ish. Really, a PCT shouldn't be started until the exogenous testosterone is completely out of the system.
Yeah, I know that. I completely know all of this stuff, but this is the thing. Like, this is what made me realize, because I did all of that stuff. So for me, I just think, okay, if I PCT, yeah, cool. So I'm giving myself a little kickstart to get back to normal. I know you mean with the blood. You're talking about the blood test, and it won't be in range and won't be accurate, right? Is that what you mean? The blood test?
No. Like testosterone, in terms of if you've done testosterone enanthate or testosterone cypionate, that is going to be in your system for up to 6 weeks post last jab. So PCT shouldn't be started until like around the 6 week mark after your last jab, because whilst you've got circulating exogenous testosterone, your body is not going to start its own natural production. No matter how much PCT you bang in, if you can bang in Nolvadex and Clomid, but your body's not going to start its natural production until the exogenous is out. So if you've started your PCT already, mate, there's a mistake you made there.
No. Listen, at the end of it, I was going to question it, but then for me, I was like, okay, cool. You know, I don't mind it because I've done it before. I just started it straight away. For me, like I said, look, I'm not thankfully, touch wood. And I'm not giving bad advice here. I'm just saying what I do. So guys watching, this is just what I did.
Yeah.
That's just preference. When I do it, I like to just start it straight away. I know that there's, trust me, that was the first bit of advice I got given. It was just sort of like, wait a while, then do it.
Yeah, you shouldn't.
But the guy I'm with, this is what I'm saying. So Sass, I'm fully trusting him just because of the experience I've had so far. So part of me wanted to question and say, oh, should I wait a little bit? But I thought, let's just fucking
simple science. It might, mate. To be honest with you, like, it's simple science. Like, your body's not going to start its own natural production whilst there's exogenous hormones in the system, like exogenous testosterone in the system. It's not really a discussion matter. It's as simple as long if there's exogenous testosterone in the system, that's what shuts your body's own natural production down in the first place.
Yeah.
So it's not going to start its own natural production whilst it's still in the system.
Do you know what?
If you don't want to talk any further on that, that's fine. But it's a simple science.
No, I do. I'm just trying to think if I gave you an accurate. I just fucking took a guess when I took my last jab. I had it in the calendar of when I started the thing. I didn't put a thing of when I finished it. But I'm just trying to see if I flick through the emails. So, now you can carry on. I'm just literally flicking through it. I'll find it. The last email.
Yeah, to be honest, like,
mate, no. There you go. I found it. So I told you well off there. I told you well off. So it was on the so PCT. So literally around 8th of January. So I did start it straight away after that, but doing it since. So maybe you could say it was a waste of money. Fine. But pretty much it.
Yeah. I mean, people seem to screw up PCT and like they're doing Nova and Clomid like straight away when it should be like, it depends obviously what you're using. If you're using like test prop or something, it's out of the system pretty quick and you can get started with your PCT pretty quick. But if you're using something like an anthate or sipping out of testosterone, you need to wait like 6 weeks. And to be honest, at that 6 week mark, I would then get your testosterone checked to see where you are, because what you got to remember is some people might be able to actually recover without doing any PCT drugs. And to be honest with you, if you don't need PCT drugs to get back into a normal range, don't do them, because PCT drugs have side effects. And some Clomid in some people can almost make you suicidal and feel really horrific.
I guess you the best.
Yeah, so I personally think that wait. It really depends on what you're using, but wait. Give it 6 weeks. Get your testosterone checked. Keep your food good. Keep your training good. Give it 6 weeks. Get your testosterone checked, and then if it's really, really low, then do a PCT.
No, I just feel fine. I just feel literally just tired. I feel fine. My training hasn't taken it, obviously. I honestly
do. When you get your bloods, and obviously you'll know more the situation then in terms of just ensure you're leaving your testosterone check like 8 weeks post last jab.
I'll leave it as long. I'll leave it as long as I can. Like with this month, I'm not getting it done soon. It'll be towards the end. Now, when I say I'm going to start in April with the push, it's not bang on. Soon as I might even just keep going to the gym naturally for a bit. Because I don't mind. I did that for 2 months, off cycle for about 8 months, and I felt great. I just need the machine, if anything. So it's better for me. It's better for me because of my plans. So like I said, what I want to do, I want to do a massive blast. By massive doesn't mean massive cycle. It means just to push really hard, then just cruise on whatever, keep the size, and then blast for a show early in the year next year. Because by then, if there's COVID, I give up. But that's it.
Yeah, man, it's gonna be, if they shut everyone down again, it's not gonna be a nice thing to go through, is it?
Piss take. But yeah.
Do you want me to get into some questions?
I don't know if you got any, because it's time for my cheat meal soon, bro.
Yeah, let's get a couple in, mate. Keep people happy. Right.
The last 5 minutes on the last question. Make it interesting. What we got?
Right. Okay, so what are your thoughts on peri-workout nutrition and manipulating calories in a deficit. Do you want to have a go at this, or shall I?
Say that again, the question.
What's your thoughts on peri-workout nutrition and manipulating calories in a deficit? That almost sounds like two questions to me, but it could be two.
Do you mean pre-workout? It said peri.
Yeah, so parameters. So basically, I suppose pre, intra, and post-workout nutrition. And sorry, I meant to say that could be all of one question, or it could be two questions, but I'll treat it like both.
Okay, I'll do the first half. I'll do the first half. So pre and intra, yeah.
Yeah, so pre, intra, and post. You know, like people do like a shake, which will cover like pre-workout, intra-workout, and post-workout with a certain amount of carbs, essentially acids, electrolytes.
Okay, so again, look, from an educational point of view, or you want to talk about science, whatever, this is what I've done. So it depends on your goal, but I think so a good amount of carbs to get pre-workout is like, I think 50 to 100 is good grams of carbs. That's for me. That's enough for me to get a good pump. Anything more, I think I get really sluggish. So that obviously I get down. For me, intra-workout is only used through a specific period of my training. Now, I don't know about you, but I don't live on it. I don't have it now. I don't live on it all year round. I'm not talking just carbs. I'm talking about BCAAs and creatine and whatnot. I give my digestion a break. So I love water, and I'll use BCAAs if I think my training has bumped up a level. So like I said, when I push really hard.
So you'll use BCAAs over EAAs?
That's the thing. So with that, for me, like I said, I like to use a supplement if I feel the difference. With a BCAA and an EAA, swear to God, I'm just having juice. I swear, like that literally is all it is.
Yeah.
Now, for me, so the supplements I take, like, so when I take this is a bit off topic, but supplements like ZMB and all that stuff, joint support, I feel all that stuff. Pre-workout, creatine, I feel it working. I know. So that's why I use it. So EAAs and BCAAs, look, man, I'm not using them now. I'm perfectly fine. I did them before, even when I was on cycle. I wasn't taking any BCAAs. I take them for cardio just to keep my stomach. Obviously, people will be funny about this. People will say if there's blood in the stomach, you don't burn fat and shit like that. Am I right?
If there's blood in your stomach?
If you got too much,
there's nutrition in your stomach.
Well, no, when you're digesting, I mean, sorry, like so.
Oh, right, okay, yeah, no, you can still burn fat and digest food.
All right, so whoever had said that,
you can particularly
whoever said that to me in the past and gave me time, I didn't follow it. I was just like, yeah, whatever. For me, I just like to keep my stomach full, man. If it's too empty and it gets to a point where how do I explain it? So let's say 2 hours is gone. I'm pretty much fasted for a meal. I don't think this BCAA drink, which has just sweeteners in it, is going to affect me burning fat.
No.
But anyway, back to the point. Sorry, I got a bit off topic there. So yeah, intra-workout used occasionally if I need it, depending on where my training is. So if, again, with the carbs, intra-workout, again, I don't think anything more than 50 is needed. Even just a little bit can be used very effectively. Creatine works well. I think you mentioned it as well. It's good to use just in general building. Yeah, that I do like to add in, but only when I need to and want to. Post-workout nutrition, again, same thing with me. Don't know about you. So my go-to carbs, I can happily have a 50-gram carb shake or more, whatever. Or I'll just go for cereal, depending on my mood, man. Nice for me, it's at the end of the day. Again, depending on where the nutrition, depending on where the part, the training is at and the diet, it can go up to 100. Then I don't push anymore in terms of digestion. That's all I do, just because I want to know my body's pretty used to it, So I eat that 100, and then if I got room for more, I'll give it a bit and I'll eat my meal. So I think I've done like a whole box of Cocoa Pops post-workout once, but I don't think it's a good idea. It's just experimenting. But man, you use all that stuff when you need to and if you need to. I think there are people who get this stuff all year round when they don't really need to. And just from experience, being off cycle now and being on cycle and not having to bother about that, just get your food right, really. And then you won't need to worry too much about it. Only if you feel you're doing the most with your food, and your training, you feel like you need a little push, add the supplements in. At the end of the day, it's in the name, supplement, and supplementing what you're doing, right?
Yeah.
But you can catch up.
Do you want me to cut right? So I think it's important to I want to do both because I think it could be seen as one or two questions. But back to what you said about EAAs and BCAAs. Obviously, it's important to note that BCAAs are within essential amino acids, and you don't need both. But I would personally say that EAAs is a better thing to have. And I actually had a question on that as well, which I'll briefly do. It was kind of like BCAAs versus EAAs. Now, BCAAs is actually what I did for my my independent university study. So I actually did a study on branched amino acids and perceived rate of exertion, strength, endurance, blah blah. And BCAAs and EAAs have been studied massively. Obviously, we know that leucine can stimulate muscle protein synthesis. So having an adequate amount of leucine with each meal can really facilitate with muscle growth. That said, in a decent quality protein source, there will be adequate amounts of leucine anyway, and BCAAs and leucine, BCAAs and EAAs, sorry. So from an intra-workout perspective, I think EAAs are fantastic. And I've had good experience using those. And if you want to drink them when you wake up or whilst you're doing cardio fasted, it's not really going to do a hell of a lot in terms of negating your fat loss. If you want to drink BCAAs with your solid meals, that's cool. If you want to drink EAAs with a solid meal, that's cool. There's top level guys that do that and it works, but it's not always a necessity to do that. BCAAs do work on their own for multiple purposes, but they're not going to grow a hell of a lot of muscle, if any muscle, on their own. But BCAAs do work, and there's a ton of studies that show that they can help with rate of perceived exertion. It can actually decrease serotonin, tryptophan, uptake by the brain. There was a study done in rats. I don't know if they've done it in humans, but anyone who knows studies knows that there's a lot of crossover between rats and humans anyway, in terms of a lot of the studies that are done. So yeah, in terms of EAAs versus BCAAs, if you're going to buy one, buy EAAs. And if you want to drink them with every meal, carry on, but it's not always needed, if ever, if it's a quality protein source. And essential amino acids intra-workout is fine and works. How much difference it will make, I'm not read into studies enough to really say that. Right, so back to the other question. What's your thoughts on peri-workout nutrition and manipulating calories in the deficit? So if he's connecting that question, I expect this person could mean that does peri-workout nutrition need to be manipulated when you are trying to diet? Now, I don't know about you, but I am in agreement with a lot of people that carbs around training when dieting is ideal. Yeah. So if you're going to pull carbs from certain places,
away from training,
pulling it from the carbs away from training is an ideal thing to do. Yeah. So I think that covers the question as a whole. Now, what are your thoughts on peri-workout nutrition? If you're being as optimal as possible, I think it has its place. So I don't always think carbohydrates intra-workout are needed, but there's enough research and there's enough anecdotal experiences where putting carbohydrates intra works. Yeah. For me personally, I'm not actually a fan of intra-workout carbohydrates. I've used cyclic dextrin, I use wax-made starch, I've used dextrose, I've used all the fancy carbohydrates. Obviously, cyclic dextrin being like the fanciest of them all. I just didn't feel that for me it works that well. I do like EAAs intra. I do like electrolytes intra. I don't like creatine intra. For me, again, it doesn't agree with my stomach intra, but I do put creatine post-workout. Yeah. So if you're talking about splitting it into three, like a pre-workout drink, like a caffeinated or vasodilators, etc., pre-workout, then that's cool. If you want to do essential amino acids and carbohydrates, intra and electrolytes, that's cool. And if you want to do some carbohydrates and creatine and whey isolate post-workout, that's cool too.
Of course.
I would look at manipulating calories away from that before I looked at touching the carbohydrates intra or carbohydrates post, personally, for me.
Yeah.
So I think that's pretty much covered that one. One more question, which is a very simple one. How can someone with limited funds get advice on what to eat? How can someone with limited funds get advice on what to eat to aid weight loss? I'll give you some free advice right here. First of all, I would eat whole foods, so single ingredient foods, and I would eat predominantly most of your calories from lean protein sources. But there's so much information on the internet, but not all of it is correct, and so much is conflicting. Some people for fat loss are saying keto, some people are saying zero carbs, some people are saying eat what you want as long as it's X amount of calories. The bottom line is what you eat, the quality of food that you eat will have an impact on how you look. There is a massive difference between eating 2,000 calories of single ingredient whole foods deemed healthy versus 2,000 calories, so exactly the same amount of calories of junk food like ice cream and donuts and processed crap. The way that your body will look is going to be completely different. It's not all about calories, which kind of debunks a lot of the fad diets.
Weight loss and fat loss, right? Two different things is what you're saying.
Absolutely. I mean, this female has said weight loss, but in all honesty, people in that circumstances don't focus on weight loss. In my opinion,
it's too easy.
It matters what you look like. Surely, I've known people lose lots of weight on not my diet for sure, because I won't let it happen. I've known people lose lots of weight and they've lost 2 stone and they still don't look very good, and they've lost muscle mass and they've lost their curves and they've lost muscle tone, because in reality, in that process of losing weight, they've lost muscle also, which has a detrimental look to the body. But this is the thing, people still want to eat crap and lose weight at the same time, or lose body fat at the same time. You can to a certain extent, but you want to ensure that you're losing weight to look good, right? So make sure that you're losing the right kind of weight. Eat healthy, eat whole foods, eat high protein. In my opinion, high protein to most people's diets, that is, because I think most people, guys and girls, they do lack protein, don't they?
Yeah, no, I totally get where you're going with it, man. Like, making someone lose weight is very easy, and like when I used to work as a PT, and I've seen it as well. So, you know, people come up to me like, "Oh, my client's lost this much weight," but they look the same. They put them on they look
crap still,
liquid diet, and it's just like, well, they're not gonna. It's not good, really, is it? But people are going to argue with that and say that, you know, it's just their goal. They just want to be lighter. People get satisfaction from that. But yeah, it is how you look at the end of the day. And this is what people don't understand, is what you're putting into your body, which shapes the body. And
absolutely.
Man, if I said to you right now, oh, look, I want to lose 2 stone, you know what I'll do for the week? Literally, I would eat like 1 meal or less and do loads of cardio. Not about 2 stone, but if I wanted to lose a load of shitload of weight,
I'll
do that in a week right now.
just do protein every meal, like. Well, look, get your essential amino acids in, get your essential fatty acids in, and that's going to develop a much better look than if you dieted on, say, 1,000 calories of protein or 1,000 calories of carbohydrates. Your body's going to look better on 1,000 calories of protein, because you're going to lose body fat, you're going to retain muscle mass. So the actual macronutrient split and the quality of the food that you're eating is highly important. Ozzy, I know you want to get off, but I've got one more question, which is a client of mine, and I want to, and you might talk about this longer than me.
What is it?
I think he knows what I'm going to say, to be honest with you. What has been your most enjoyable workout split not effective?
Not effective?
So what workout split have you enjoyed the most?
Yeah.
Not necessarily the most effective one.
Oh,
Does that make?
okay.
Sorry, I should have said it like that. I actually wrote it down. He sent it over, and I actually wrote it down. It's not exactly how he said it. So, what's been your most enjoyable workout split? It doesn't necessarily have to have been the most effective one, though.
Okay, what did I enjoy the most? So really haven't had one which is effective or not. I've just sort of gone with my body, but I think my most enjoyable one, which I wish I could do now, actually, is a bro split.
Yeah.
I do need to do the bro split. I just can't do it now. I don't know why. I just can't do it. Let's say I did chest on the Monday, for example. Let's go typical bro.
Yeah.
And then we've got back. We come back to Thursday. My chest and my shoulders are still hurting, like from chest.
Yeah.
That's just how I am now. So I do them two together, and then I give them a massive break.
Yeah.
Am I getting smarter with my training? Am I getting smarter? Am I getting older? I don't know. But yeah, for me, bro split 100%. It was most fun, but I don't know if it's most effective. I think what I'm doing now is more effective because I'm training way less. I'm training obviously a lot as well, but like on my days off, I'm getting older. I appreciate rest days, just not too many of them.
Yeah. I think personally for me, the most effective is the most enjoyable. I've got to be honest. Like, if I feel as though what I'm doing in the gym is the most effective for my physique, I'm going to enjoy that more. Because if I'm doing something that I feel isn't the most optimal split, I'll almost feel bad because I'm enjoying not because I'm enjoying it, because I'll feel like I'm wasting my time almost. I see my workouts as an investment for the future, for that future muscle growth. So if I'm doing something, as I said, that I don't feel as though the best, I don't take enjoyment from that. I want to be in the gym thinking, this is going to get me the best results. I'm excited while I'm doing that workout because this is optimal. This is what is most effective. So I get enjoyment out of that.
Yeah.
And that's literally an answer off the top of my head.
No, my answer is I was very naive, man. So when I was younger, that was me. I'm talking. So look, I've only ever done 3 splits in my life. Bro split when I first started. Then I obviously got introduced to JP and started the push pull legs, which wasn't.
Which he ended up changing his own theory on that himself, I think.
Yes, it wasn't for me, man. It was too much.
Which is fair enough.
Yeah, and then
I would too.
Now I'm doing a mixture of the two. So I think I've told you already. There's chest and shoulders, which is essentially push. Then I do back. It was pure back on my next day, which is after a rest. And then I did an arm day and then legs. So I'm kind of doing a push pull, but I've added that separate day in as well because I found I don't need to batter my body that much. And every time I was doing it, I was training on top of sore muscles. So I don't think that affected me really badly in terms of muscle gaining. What it did was it's given me all these injuries which I have now because it wasn't giving me enough rest. So if I was doing what I did now, I probably would have progressed a hell of a lot more when I was fresh, and I could lift a lot more weight, 100%. But so what I'm doing now is effective for this age, and if I could do it back then, it would have been twice as effective. But you've got to find a split that suits you. Just don't neglect your rest.
I mean, simple answer for me is what is most effective is most enjoyable.
That's it. Progression. I'm in this. I got hooked on this from progression. Like I never wanted to do bodybuilding. Like I said, I started progressing and I was like, ooh, good stuff learning. But yeah, that's it. Right. How long do we do today? Have you got anything you want to say?
No, mate, that's cool. That's all good. There is a few more questions, but we can move them on to next week. That's fine.
All right. What we saying about a group call next week?
Maybe.
I'm feeling it. I feel like do it, but we'll try an early one, but we'll discuss that. But we'll surprise everybody with who we have on, and we'll do our thing from there.
Yeah.
Surprise guest. Anyway, I'm gonna go stuff my face. which I say
Go on.
I'm dying, mate. I'm absolutely dying.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, you guys, hope you enjoyed that, and catch us for episode 3 hopefully next week, and fire over the questions if you made it this far. See you later, Jeff.
Yeah.
Take it easy, man.
See you later, man. See you in a bit.
Bye.